students, welcome to the online class of physics. This is your Naima Miss back with chemical bonding. So in our previous class we were learning about the formation of ionic bond. Ionic bond is also called as, what did I say, it is also called as electrostatic bond. Why? Because it is formed due to the electrostatic force, right? It is formed due to the electrostatic force, hence it is also called as electrostatic bond. It is also called as, one more name it is having, right, electrovalent bond, right? Electrovalent bond. Why it is called as electrovalent bond? Because the valence concept has been explained in the terms of electron, hence it is called as electrovalent bond. So this valency concept is based on the electrons, so it is called as electrovalent bond. I hope it is clear. And we have learnt about few examples also. What were that? We have learnt about NaCl. NaCl will give the electron and it will form into Na plus Cl minus ion, right? So this we learnt in our previous class. In today's class we will learn about formation of magnesium chloride, how the magnesium chloride formation is taking place. So when we are saying Mg is nothing but magnesium plus Cl2, this will give rise to MgCl2, right? So now we will see about cation formation and we will see about anion formation. Cation is what? Plus sign containing, that is, which is losing the electron. Anion means minus sign containing atom, which is, having it is gaining the electron, right? So now here we will see the cation formation, how the cation formation is taking place. Cation formation, how it is taking place, we will see magnesium, right? So magnesium's, what is its atomic number? It is 11. This is a gas, right? Now what it is doing, it is giving out 2 electrons. It is giving out 2 electrons and forming Mg2 plus 2 electrons. Now these 2 electrons will go and combine to whom? It will go and combine to chlorine, right? Because we are forming here MgCl2. So that is called as anion formation. What it is called? It is called as anion formation. So what is happening here? Cl, that is chlorine, is accepting these 2 electrons and gaining the charge of Cl minus 2. Right, sorry, 2Cl minus. Okay, it is gaining 2 electrons. Okay, it is gaining 2 electrons, so it will get 2Cl plus. Mama. So you have understood this? This is nothing but, here what is happening? 1 electron is going and adding to this. So it is forming Cl minus, right? 1 more electron is going and adding to chlorine, that is forming again Cl minus. Cl plus Cl, which will give to 2Cl minus. So this is that only, nothing but, okay, 2Cl plus 2 electrons will give rise to 2Cl minus. In the same way, you have the formation of Na2O, that is, we will have 2 Na plus O minus, okay, 2, because we have 2 here, right? Similarly, we have AlCl3, which is having Al plus 3 plus Cl minus 3, okay, or you can say 3Cl minus. Fine. So this will be your homework. Okay, you have to write formation of Na2O and formation of AlCl3. This you have to write the homework and submit. Now when we are saying the formation of NaCl, do you think only one sodium and chlorine atom are combining and forming solid salt? No, then you are wrong. Because remember that electrostatic force is non-directional. Electrostatic force is non-directional. is non-directional. It does not have any direction. To control the sodium ion, we need more than chlorine atoms, right? So here there is like it's not possible for one sodium atom ion to be attracted by one chlorine, or one chlorine atom to be attracted by one sodium atom. So depending upon the size and charges of the particular ion, number of oppositely charged ions get attracted by it, but in a definite number. Okay, for if we example take sodium chloride, each sodium ion is surrounded by 6 chlorine ions. Okay, and each chlorine ion is surrounded by 6 sodium ions, vice versa. Okay, so ionic compound in the crystalline state consist of orderly arranged cations as well as anions held together by the electrostatic force. Fine. So this forms a three-dimensional structure, 3D structure. Okay. So the crystal structure of sodium chloride, here we can see one of the sodium ion is surrounded by 6 chlorine ion. So this will be the 3D structure of the NaCl, that is one chlorine atom is surrounded by the 6 sodium ions, and one sodium ion is surrounded by the 6 chlorine ions. So this structure is called as lattice crystal structure. What it is called? It is called as lattice crystal structure. Okay, the structure is called as lattice crystal structure. So the number of ions of opposite charge that surround a given ion of given charge is called as coordination number. What it is called? It is called as coordination number. Fine, it's clear till here? So let us learn about the factors affecting the formation of cations and anions. In our previous classes, we have learned about the variation of metallic and non-metallic characters of element. In the group periodic table, we have learned about it, right? So, generally the elements of metals have the tendency of losing the electrons, right? As I said, metals can lose the electrons, right? Lose the electrons, okay, to attain the octet in their valence shell. This property is called as metallic character or electropositivity. What it is called? It is called as electropositivity. So that is, it can lose the electron. When it is losing the electron, it is called as electropositivity. And elements with more electropositive characters form the cation. Right? Similarly, non-metals like oxygen, fluorine and chlorine acquires the electron configuration of element of inert gases by gaining the electrons, and those are called as non-metallic characters, or it is called as they gain the electrons, and it is called as electronegativity. What it is called? It is called as electronegativity. Metals lose electron and they are called as electropositivity. Non-metals gains the electrons and they gain the property of electronegativity. Okay. The elements with more electronegative characters are called as anions. Fine. Ionic bond formation, you have noticed that atoms either lose electrons or either gain electrons to attain the octet in the valence shell. Right? So that is, in an ionic bond, there is a transfer of electron take place between the combining atoms. Right? So the tendency of losing electrons to form the cations or gaining the electrons to form the anions depends on 4 factors. What are those? First one is atomic size. It depends upon the atomic size, and it depends on the ionization potential. It depends on electron affinity, and fourth is electron negativity. Okay, these are the 4 characters on which it is going to depend. The atoms with low ionization energy, low electron affinity and high atomic size and low electronegativity forms cations. What it is? With low ionization energy, low electron affinity, low electronegativity and high atomic size. These are the characteristics which form the cation. And anion, its opposite. Okay, that is high ionization energy, high electron affinity, high electronegativity and small atomic size. So these are the characters which affect the formation of ionic bonds. So the next bond which is formed is second one. It is covalent bond. Covalent bond formation. So what is covalent bond? Covalent bond is a chemical bond formed between the two atoms by mutual sharing of the pair of electrons so that both of them can attain octet or duplet in their valence shell. Okay, so here their mutual understanding is taking place. The electrons shared between the two atoms belong to both the atoms and they form a bond by sharing the electrons mutual understanding. Okay, for example, if we take fluorine, okay, now fluorine atom which forms a stable molecule, each fluorine atom contributes one electron from both the bondings, right? From both the electrons. See, if I'm taking fluorine, how many electrons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is having 7 electrons in their outermost shell. Plus, we will take one more fluorine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, what will happen? These one electron and this one electron will share together and form one bond. Okay, these both will pair up to form one mutual bond. So, how it is formed? Fluorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one and this one get pairs up. This one and this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Or you can also write it as fluorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bond 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this bond is called as covalent bond. What is this called? This is called as covalent bond. Because of sharing of electrons, this bond has taken place. So it is called as covalent bond. I hope it is understandable, children. So now, as I said, the dots around it are nothing but the electrons, the electrons present in its outermost shell. So the chemical bond formed between these two atoms is by mutual sharing, and the pair of valence shells, here the bond is taking place, which is called as covalent bond. So the prefix co is used to indicate, because it's a valence bond, and co is used here, covalent, we are saying covalent. So this co is used to indicate when the things are equal or joint. Okay, like cooperate. Okay, so that is used here. Because of cooperation of both the atoms, a bond is forming place. That's why it is said as covalent. Therefore, the nature covalent is given for this bond. If we see the formation of oxygen also, you see that there are, how many electrons are there? What is the electronic configuration? Electronic configuration is 8, right? So 2 and 6. So how many electrons you see? This is the oxygen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why 6? Because 6 electrons are present in the outermost shell. Plus one more oxygen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what is happening here? This is bonding with this electron and this is bonding with this electron. Okay, so the bond formation taking place is like this. Oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4. Oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the 2 electrons are there. Where are those? It is this 1, 2 and 3, 4. So this is one bond and this is one bond. So you can even write it as oxygen double bond O. These are the paired electrons which are present on the oxygen, right? So is it clear? Similarly, we have nitrogen also. In nitrogen also we have similar kind of bonding, where we will see, if you see nitrogen, here you can see two nitrogen ions atoms are combining to form this bond, right? So what is the valency? It is 7. So how you are going to write it? N, that is 2 and 5. So what is the valency? 5, right? So what we are going to do? We are going to write N, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more ion, one more atom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now what is happening here? You see, this electron is getting bond with this electron, okay, and this electron is getting bond with this electron, and this electron is getting bond with this electron. So here you can see triple bond formation, okay, triple bond formation. You can see nitrogen, nitrogen, and these are the bond pair of electrons. These are the bond pair of electrons. Now you can see one bond is formed here, second bond here, and third bond here. So this is called as tri-bond, triple bond. Okay, it is called as triple bond. Triple bond. Before we have seen fluorine-fluorine bond. This is called as, just simply it is called as bond, single bond. Okay, single bond. And when you have seen oxygen, this is called as double bond. Okay, single bond, double bond, and this one is called as triple bond. Okay, it's called as triple bond. So I hope this is clear, children. Yes, you can even write it as N, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and lone pair, bonded pair of electrons. Okay, so this will be one bond, right, which is bonded like this. Okay, this is the electrons which are present in the bond. Okay, next one more example, if we will see methane. Okay, so here you can see one carbon atom is attached to how many hydrogen atoms? 4. Okay, it is getting bonded with 4 hydrogen atoms. For example, what is the valency of carbon? 6. So then we can write it as 2, 4 as the electronic configuration. Now what is the valency? 4. So you can bond the carbon with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 1 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 3 hydrogen, 4 hydrogen. Now you can see this is 1 hydrogen bond, this is 1 hydrogen bond, this is 1 hydrogen bond, and this is 1 hydrogen bond. So here you can see 4 hydrogen atoms are attached to 1 carbon atom. Similarly, we have NH3, ammonia. Ammonia. Yes, ammonia. Now in this, if you see ammonia molecules, they are 3 hydrogen atoms are attached to 1 nitrogen atom. So there is a single bond, single covalent bond. So what is the valency here? We will see electrolytic configuration is N is 7, which is having 2 and 5. So here 5 is the valency. And how many electrons are, how many molecules of atoms are attached here? 3. Right. So here we will see nitrogen, bond pair of electrons, 1, 2, 3 lone pair electrons. With this, we are going to attach 1 electron, 2 electron of hydrogen, 3 electron of hydrogen. So now you will see the bond formation. So this is your nitrogen with 2 electrons upon it, that is the bond pair of electrons, and you have 1 hydrogen attached here. Okay, 1 hydrogen attached here, 1 hydrogen attached here. Okay, so that is nothing but it is forming one, see like this, 1, this is 1, this is 1. So it is forming a single bond with the nitrogen atom. It is forming single covalent bond with the nitrogen atom. So there we see the pairing of electrons of hydrogen and nitrogen. Their two electrons are being shared by their mutual understanding. So this is one of the example of single covalent bond. Next, when we come to the structure of water, what is the formula of water? Water, what is the formula of water? H2O. Right. So now here if you see, what is the valency of oxygen? Oxygen valency is 2 and 6. Configuration is 2 and 6. So valency is 6. Right. So oxygen is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Now what we are doing? Now what oxygen is doing? It is combining, it is having mutual understanding with hydrogen atom, and it is sharing one electron with the hydrogen atom, and it is forming a bond. These are the two bond pair of electrons, and one it is forming the bond pair with hydrogen. Yes, another it is forming the bond pair with one more hydrogen. Okay, so you can even write it as oxygen getting bond with the hydrogen. These are the two lone pair of electrons, and these are the electrons shared and forming a single covalent bond. Okay, and forming single covalent bond. Total number of bonds, total number of covalent bonds that an atom forms to form one compound is called as covalency. Suppose if we take the covalency, number of covalent bonds formed to form one atom with an element. So how many bonds are there here? How many covalent bonds are formed? 1, 2. So what is the covalency of water? 2. Right. Similarly, if we see NH3, what is the covalency? N is forming 3 bonds, right? 3 single bonds. So what is the covalency of ammonia? 1, 2, 3. 3 bonds. 3 covalent bonds. So how many covalent bonds are formed? Those many is counted as the covalency. So if we see the bond length and bond energies of the covalent bond, what is the bond length? The bond length or the bond distance is the equilibrium distance between the nuclei of the atom, which forms the covalent bond. Okay, nuclei of the atoms. Okay, nuclei of this oxygen and nuclei of the hydrogen, that is called as the bond length. What it is called? It is called as bond length. Okay, and what is bond energy? Bond energy or the bond dissociation energy, it is nothing but the energy needed to break the covalent bond between the two atoms of diatomic covalent compounds. Okay, bond energy which is used, it is required to break the covalent bond, is called as the bond energy or the bond dissociation energy. So with this I end up the video. With this we have completed our covalent bond. In the next class we will discuss about the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory and further hybridization, etc. Okay, so let us continue in our next class. I want you all to practice this once again, and whatever homework I given in this video you have to complete and show me. Thank you.